Crisis Core was a little bit of an unexpected surprise to me because I had never played the original game, so I had no idea what I was getting myself into, and it was very much an impulse purchase that I kind of was thinking like, oh, I'll just give this to myself and I'll take a chance on this game. I even bought it retail, and I've talked about that particular story quite a bit throughout the multiple live streams that I've done of Crisis Core. Today's video isn't really going to have any spoilers of any description. This is footage from my second stream that I did of the game, where I spent most of the time doing side quests. So that is going to be the background footage on here. But today I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about Crisis Core. So the name of the game is actually Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion. So initially I didn't think that this is something that I was going to play, because I thought it was going to be, you know, a traditional Final Fantasy, not like turn-based or anything like that. I knew that the combat was going to be real-time, but I thought it was going to be a more traditional Final Fantasy, like in the vein of something like, because of the fact that I had recently played Final Fantasy VII, well, not recently, but a while ago, I played Final Fantasy VII Remaster. I kind of expected Crisis Core's structure, the structure of the game, to be more like that, but it's not. It is very different, which, you know, I knew absolutely nothing about the game, therefore it is not surprising. I kind of feel like to expect that was the case, especially once you actually see the visuals of the game and all that, which the visuals actually look pretty good when you take into consideration that this is essentially a PlayStation Portable remaster of a game. Now, what I've came to learn throughout me streaming the game, and some of you guys showing up and, you know, telling me more information about the game, is that this was actually one of the sleeper hits of the PlayStation Portable. Again, according to the community that showed up to watch these live streams on my channel, which I was not aware of. As a matter of fact, I think that for a while I might have confused this particular game with Dirge of Cerberus, which I had watched on another channel, and I was like, I don't know about that. I don't know if I want to play myself some Dirge of Cerberus remaster or otherwise. I don't know. It didn't look particularly good, but on a whim, I bought it and I started playing it and I started streaming it, and I was like, this is a ton of fun. I really enjoy it, and today I wanted to just tell you guys why that was. Now, one of the things is obviously I didn't have too high expectations for the game. I was even expecting to like maybe do one stream and then be like, maybe it wasn't really for me, it's whatever. It was really one of those shots in the dark, kind of. But I feel like it paid off in a really good way, because I ended up really enjoying it. Now, one of the things that I really like about this game is the structure of the game. Now, there are your story missions, which you go through, and, you know, you have cutscenes and stuff like that. And one of the interesting things about the story missions, again, I'm not going to be delving too deeply into story because of spoilers and stuff like that, but one of the interesting things about story missions, and in case you're looking at this boss, you're like, oh my god, what do you mean no spoilers? You're fighting freaking Bahamut. It's like Bahamut is super early on in the game. You don't have to worry about that. And this is not even the actual cinematic fight. This is just like a grindy fight, because I'm like coming to collect his summon or whatever it was that I was trying to do. But anyway, one of the things about the story cutscenes is that they give you a lot more background. At least that's what I've been feeling. They give you a lot more background into the events that take place in Final Fantasy VII. Now, I am one of the very few people that never played the original Final Fantasy VII. Like, look, I tried playing it after I played the Final Fantasy VII remake, and it's just not for me. Like, I get it. I understand that a lot of people have a lot of nostalgia for that game, and you guys, you know, you'll always enjoy that game, and it's going to be very fond in your memories. But as someone coming in completely fresh, I could not get into it. I'm sorry. Like, I get it. Some of you will say you don't deserve Final Fantasy VII Remaster, or you don't even deserve Crisis Core, but I'm still going to play it. So if you feel that way, then I'm not even sorry for you, because I don't appreciate that level of gatekeeping. But besides the point, I never played the original Final Fantasy VII. I did play Final Fantasy VII Remake. Greatly enjoyed it. Loved the time that I've spent playing that game. There's actually I wasn't aware of this, but there's actually a full playthrough of this on my secondary channel, because I forgot that I had even uploaded that. But on Rurikhan Unleashed, you have a full playthrough of the Final Fantasy VII Remake, in case you guys are curious to watch me play that particular game. But I really enjoyed that, and I kind of feel that Crisis Core kind of like complements that universe nicely, because it's telling me the initial story of you know, how Sephiroth came to be whatever it is that he's going to turn out to be, because I still haven't finished the game. It's telling me the story of other characters that are important, like Zack, which, by the way, I might also add, Zack is a much better character than Cloud. And I don't care that somebody is going to be upset by that. Like, look, Zack is just a better character. It's just that simple. I really like the character of Zack. I think he's way cooler than Cloud, because Cloud is just like dark and brooding and, oh man, you don't know what I've been through. You don't know what I've seen and blah. Zack is a little bit more happy-go-lucky, which is kind of more my speed, to be quite frank. But yeah, the whole fact that this is bringing me all of that additional information from the Final Fantasy VII universe, so to speak, is making it a lot easier for me to kind of immerse myself in that universe, whereas I was never going to be able to play the original Final Fantasy VII, which I tried. I did try playing it, okay? I just want you to know I tried it. Not for me, all of that. Now, another really cool thing about this game is the soundtrack, which people have been telling me that the soundtrack is actually not even, I mean, maybe they've done some remastering of it from an audio standpoint or something like that, but people are telling me that these were the original tracks that were in the game, and I'm just like, dude, this soundtrack freaking slaps! I love the soundtrack in this game. The soundtrack in this game is awesome. I adore it. It is one of the standout things, and I love a game with a really cool soundtrack, because I think that soundtracks is one of the things that is very underrated when it comes to video games. Now, when it comes to the actual, like I was telling you guys, the structure of the game is very different. This game is actually structured in missions. So you have your story, like I was talking about, and then you have just these missions, which is actually the missions that you guys are seeing me do right now. There's a bunch of side quests that you can do. And these side quests, they remind me a little bit of the structure of Monster Hunter. And I know people are like, oh, here it comes again, comparing everything to Monster Hunter. No, I'm talking like, because Monster Hunter itself is also a game that is a product of its time, right? You had the zones that you kind of go into, and then in that zone you have your objective, you complete your objective, and then you zone out, and then you go in again into a different zone or whatever. And this game takes that particular structure as well. As a matter of fact, let me just move a little bit forward here so that we can actually go into gameplay, because I was just like stuck choosing zones there. But you zone into these different locations, and then you can have random encounters as you are going through. That's actually one of the reasons why you see me that I'm hugging the wall, because if you hug the walls, there's less chance for you to get random encounters. But you get these random encounters. The combat is in real time. It is actually a pretty cool combat system, which is you have a button for melee attacks, then you have a button to activate your different materials, which you can have special attacks as materia. You can have, in the special attacks are going to use AP. You can have spells for materia, which are going to use mana, and that's kind of the way that it goes. You attack, you use materia powers, and you dodge. There's also obviously a dodge button as well. Now, there's also a little roulette thing that's constantly rolling on the top left-hand side, which some people are not going to like because it's very much an RNG system. But basically, every now and then, the roulette gives you an advantage. It's completely random, which again, like I said, for some people, that is going to be a little bit triggering because you don't like the random aspect of combat. It's like, it doesn't bother me too much. My problems with RNG usually come more so in the form of like a gear acquisition and stuff like that. That bothers me a lot more. But like a little bit of randomness in combat, which seems like it was built into this game from the get-go, doesn't bother me too much. And the randomness can trigger things like you have unlimited AP, which means you can just do special attacks nonstop for a little bit. You have unlimited mana, which means you can cast spells nonstop for a bit. And I just feel like the combat has a flow to it that feels really good. Now, I've been told that the combat itself is actually a little bit different than it was back on PlayStation Portable, because you had to like select each individual skill as opposed to now where you have just buttons that let you pick out all the skills at the same time. And people have told me that it works a whole lot better in the remaster. But I enjoy the combat of the game. I feel like it felt very refreshing for me, even though it's a little bit of an old game. It just felt refreshing to just have a game that you can just jump into. And it just feels like a video game for the sake of being a video game, because nowadays every video game is trying to like one-up itself in one way or another, almost. And this just feels like, hey, we just did this thing, has a bunch of missions. You go in there, you do all the missions, you have a good time. And I don't know. I guess I just wasn't expecting it, and I ended up having a blast with it. And I figured that I'd do a video telling you guys about it, the reasons why I enjoy it, because I guess some of you are probably not going to be watching the streams because those are pretty long, but I will continue to stream the game even though the viewership is relatively low. I'm going to be streaming it. The thing is, I don't know when I'm going to be streaming it next because holidays and all that, but in January you can expect to see quite a bit more of this game as I kind of get back into the flow of things after coming back from the holidays. But yeah, it's a blast. There's tons of customization as well through materia, because you can do like materia melding, and that allows you to unlock all kinds of crazy materia. I'm assuming you can probably go online to a wiki somewhere and you will become aware of like all different combinations you can do. But for now, I'm kind of like exploring it. I ended up creating this materia, which is a high jump, and it came because I fused it together with HP plus materia. It basically gave my high jump also 70% additional hit points, which is pretty fun. So experimenting with that system and trying to min-max your character and leveling up materia and doing all of these different missions and getting crazy summons through the roulette system has just been something that I've been really, really appreciating. And I'm not saying that this is like super fantastic, amazing, mind-blowing game. This is one of those rare cases where it's just the right game at the right time. The version of the game that I've been playing is the PlayStation 5, so all of my thoughts are based on the PlayStation 5 version of the game, which runs well, pretty much 60 FPS. I think that there are some cutscenes that probably drop down to 30, but it doesn't feel like super jarring or anything for some reason. Like it's just fun. Like that's it. Like I'm just having fun with it. I'm curious to know what are your opinions on this game. If you guys tried it out, if you have not tried it out, if you're considering trying it out. Personally, if you are into the Final Fantasy VII universe, I think I'd probably recommend this game even, because if you never played the original in particular, I feel like this is more of a game that is for people that never played the original. If you have played the original, I'm not sure, unless you're feeling really nostalgic and want to replay it, I'm not sure if it's going to be for you or not, but, you know, for people that have never played it, yes, I would recommend it. It is a ton of fun, and I'm greatly enjoying it, and I just wanted to do this quick little video to let you guys know. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching. Hope you guys continue to enjoy your holidays, spending time with your family, or with me. You know, there'll be more videos in the channel throughout the holidays, and yeah, for now, this is going to be it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay strong, stay safe. Peace out.